Hello, this is Bridget Rau with Divine Essentials. Hi there, how are you? So I'm just going to do a quick little energy update for you all. We are in the full moon energies right now. I was going to do a pick a pile, but I am very tired. So what I did, because this is a big time for us to pull out, we're getting rid of karma. The last 10 years, that we've been dealing with, the karma of that stuff, is coming up to the surface. And it's time for us to make some big decisions in regards to where we're headed. So I decided to pull out the karma cards because I felt like that would be appropriate. And it was funny because we got the moon in Gemini affecting the 10th house. So how this works is it has spiritual, mental, and physical messages. I also pulled out the heal yourself cards because I felt like this is something that would be good at this point. And can kind of give us like a little backup on what we see here. So the first thing with the spiritual message that we've got is defend what you want to be known responsibly. All right, so in the energies that we're in right now, I feel like there are going to be major epiphany moments, major decisions happening, and it's like you may want to shout some stuff from the rooftops, or you may want to like let be known what you're making your decision within. You may be like, aha, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to let it be known. Just be responsible about it. Don't do anything that you're going to later on regret, or do anything that may hurt another person, or, in regards to work, things like that, because this is our career, I feel like you just want to be responsible, put in some 2-week notice, see, like, fail things out, because I think a lot of us are going to be shifting in regards to, like, our mission work, our purpose here, our love situations, our relationships with our families and our friends. But you don't want to burn bridges, is basically what I'm saying. So you don't want to be burning bridges in regards to any of that stuff. I mean, if you're dealing with a toxic, karmic, crappy situation, you probably don't care much about the burning of the bridge there, but you want to be responsible. Like when I left my karmic situation, I had another bank account set up that he did not know about. Like I had plans. I was like, figured out I could get a car, and like I knew like my dad would be coming out of jail at the time he'd be going into jail, so I was like I can work with my dad. Like I set up a plan. I didn't just like get all crazy. And that's what I mean within this. Like if you're trying to break out of something, try to plan it out so that you're not like finding yourself struggling when you get to the other side of it. And that's the type of energy I feel like people are in right now, is like they're going to be making hasty decisions, and then you may regret it when you move down the road. And it's not that you'd regret it, it's just that you may be like, well, I could have made this a little bit easier on myself had I just figured this out beforehand, okay? So take that as you will into what you've been dealing with into your life. And then for the healing energy, let's see what comes out in regards to that for spiritual messages right now. Pay attention to the signs. It's funny because I got my deck over here that's reminded of you constantly, synchronicity. So I feel like this is more so you're being reminded constantly at this time by spirit. I've been seeing like an increased amount of synchronicity, like the numbers are non-stop, 111, 222, 333. However, be responsible in this, because I feel like sometimes we see a sign, like I know a lot of people are like, I saw 1111, and they always equate it to their twin flame. It's not always that. Sometimes it's, hey, pay attention, wake up, look at this. And sometimes when we are not receiving messages appropriately, like when we're like going through our filter, because there's no channel on the planet that's pure, okay? We all break things down through our channel, through our consciousness. It's like whatever your channel knows and things like that, the energy of that channel, that's basically what they can bring forth. They'll definitely bring forth stuff that's higher awareness and better messages and things that they may not think of on their own, but there's still like a physical aspect of them here. There's an ego that it has to break down through. So always remember that when you're receiving signs from spirit, it has to go through your ego, and sometimes your ego doesn't understand it to the best of the ability. So sometimes you end up defending what you want to be known, but you're not doing it in a responsible way. Like you're just like, oh, you know what? I want that to mean that that's connected to this, instead of kind of going down into your emotional body and feeling what it actually means. So pay attention to the signs that you're receiving right now. Pay attention to the synchronicity, because it is helping you to make decisions. And any type of victim consciousness that you're holding on to, I feel like the signs are helping you to steer away from that. And we all have this because we've all been victims of something within our lives. But you see those people. Sometimes people are like, oh, everybody's out against me and everybody hates me. And when you're in that energy, it does absolutely no good for you. And Spirit will try to show you the way out of there, but they will even get frustrated. And you'll start seeing signs and seeing things that keep you stuck in the victim consciousness. So right now is a time to break out of that. Do not allow yourself to stay stuck in something that you know that isn't good for you, or like a mindset that's not serving you. It's time to let those things go. And then we have meditate and contemplate. So I feel like this again is telling you, don't just make hasty decisions right now. Pay attention to the signs. Do not go into the place of being a victim. Go within and meditate before making these big major things that people could be, contemplating on right now, and just take your time. So for the mental message, it says, accept what is believed about success. Now, with that, I feel like accept what is believed about your success, believe in your success. However, sometimes our beliefs around success are not good. So I don't like how that kind of says that. I think it would be better off for people to look at their beliefs surrounding success. Like, do you have the belief that in order for you to get to where you want to go, like, you've got to suffer, that you got to bust your ass, or that things going to be really difficult for you to get there? Of course, we got to put hard work in to get to a place of success, whether it's love, whether it's, money, whether it's our career, our family lives, whatever it is, healing. It all takes, required dedication to do it. But if you're sitting around in a victim energy, or you're sad, or you're miserable, you're unsure, that's all you're rippling out. So it's going to block you from your success. And if you have certain beliefs that make you think that, the only way anybody's going to be successful is to do something that they hate doing and just really bust their ass at it, they got to go to school, they got to do this, blah, 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 you could be holding yourself back. So the signs could be trying to show you that, if you go within, you'll get clearer messages on what will bring you to success. And when you're in a much better vibration, and you take off your mask and you show your true self underneath that mask of the ego that tells us, that we're a victim of something, or, kind of makes the messages, the synchronicity that we're receiving a little bit, based off of what we'd like it to say, or we want it to mean, rather than what it actually does. We become vulnerable and we become our true selves, and that aligns us with success. Because when you're feeling good and aligned, and you're not hiding who you truly are, and you're just speaking your truth, and you're giving the world who you really are, you become successful within that. People like that. They gravitate towards that. People don't want to see somebody that's wearing a mask and pretending. They don't want a bunch of bullshit. Some people do. I'm not going to but that's the people who are usually mirroring the mask, people who are in victim consciousness. They want somebody to just tell them, oh, everything's going to be okay. Yeah, that's exactly what that means. And nope, never going to be difficult. Everything's funky-dory. Everything that you've ever wanted will come to you like magic. You got to have a healthy balance between that. You got to take off the mask sometimes and just be the real raw self. And if you're dealing with somebody that has been wearing a mask, if you've been wearing a mask in regards to it in any way, like ignoring the signs that you're receiving or becoming a victim of that situation, look at where you're wearing a mask, and look at where you're allowing yourself to stay stuck in regards to the success that you may be wanting in connection to that. And then we have, let your feelings tell you how to use the quickest way and become a person of power and status. So again, this is kind of saying what I was just saying. Let your feelings guide you. If you're feeling like a victim, you're feeling sad, you're feeling like, I don't know, uncertainty, if you're, not being who you truly are, then you're not in alignment with the quickest way to becoming a person of power and status and happiness, because you're not being your true self. So you got to let that stuff go in order to get there. Phoenix rising. So when you let go of this, you start to rise up. And whatever you think and feel and ripple out is what you're attracting to you. So if you want to be on the fast track to success and power and love and all of that stuff, you've got to be in this energy. You got to let go of the stuff that's holding you back and just focus on what's going to serve you the true you. Don't try to change you to become somebody else that may serve somebody else or may serve, some false illusion that you've been hoping for or wanting in your life. You've got to allow yourself to really truly be you and feel good about who you are in order to get to that place a little bit quicker. It's when we're giving out the false versions of ourselves that we're slowing those things down in regards to our success and our careers and our path into love and just becoming who we're truly meant to be. So we also have patience coming through here. Now, I feel like this is something that a lot of people struggle with within these situations. That's where a lot of this victim consciousness can come in too, where people don't want to be patient when it comes to, manifesting things. And that's like where you block yourself. If you're not having patience in regards to like the best career, the life purpose, or the love situation, the dynamic that you've always been wanting, you're rippling out that impatience. You're rippling out that, like, I don't have it. I want it and I don't have it. And so that's what you continue to feel, and that's what you continue to see. But when you're patient and you trust and you know that because you've been doing this work and that you're truly who you are and everything that's meant for you is on its way to you, you go within, you're not getting sidetracked, you're not like manipulating what you're seeing around you, you start to flow a lot faster to this place. So being in a sense of patience actually does help speed you up on the path to your success and to your power within yourself and in your self-love. So the more you're loving yourself, the easier it is for others to love you, the easier it is for you to attract things towards you that feel good instead of feeling sad or feeling like a victim. And when there's people around you doing shit that you don't like or things that have been done to you, just let it go. Just focus on loving yourself and know that it's okay that, you know what, they've done that. I don't need to be a victim of it anymore. If you keep feeding into that energy or you start like wanting to do stuff back towards them, because again, I feel like that could be tied into some of this, like be responsible in the decisions you're making right now. Like if someone pisses you off and you're like, you know what, fuck them, I'm going to do this. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to bring up more karma and more bullshit for you to deal with and keep you in the victim energy. Just love yourself enough to know that there's something inside of the other person or the other situation that doesn't serve and that they've got their own stuff to heal and deal with, and you don't need to be mixing yourself up into all of that because it's just going to slow you down on the path to your success. So be trying to focus more so on yourself at this time and the healing of the inner child. So like I did a pretty in-depth healing session earlier for somebody, and the inner child came through a lot. I just saw 1212. So this is something you guys want to be paying attention to, but I want you to start treating yourself the way you would treat the child, okay? Instead of like worry, like, because a lot of times we let people treat us poorly, we treat ourselves poorly. Start treating yourself the way you would your own child. Imagine that you are your own child. If your own child came home to you and was telling you about the situations that you're going through in your life right now, what would you tell that child to do? How would you treat that child? How would you inspire that child? How would you love that child? And give all of that love to that child within you so that child can grow and blossom into the best version of self. Or if that's hard for you, maybe you're not somebody that can identify with the role of being like a mother or father to a child. How would you treat your best friend? Okay, this is how I want you to start treating yourself. Tell yourself the story from A to Z in regards to whatever it is you could be suffering with right now or feeling kind of stuck within or uncertain about. Tell yourself that full story and then either mother that child or, be the best friend to that child and give them the guidance that you would give to them. But, ultimately take it for yourself, because some of us are walking around with this like hole in our souls. And it's just like a metaphor for people feeling like incomplete, that they don't have everything that they want, or maybe the person that they want, or the job that they want, that they're dealing with the ghost of a soulmate. Maybe somebody ghosted you or disappeared out of your life, and so ever since then you could be walking around with that hole. But I want you to treat yourself the way that you would treat that child. If that child came home and told you about, whatever happened with somebody that maybe ghosted you, or something that they didn't get that they were really wanting, and then they feel like a victim of it, how would you empower that child? Start thinking in those terms, and then asking for help from spirit. And we got this big moon energy here today. These next few days, this entire portal up until the 21st is the perfect time to be asking for help and to be getting out of this place of entrapment. A lot of us have entrapped ourselves within situations because we're like, oh, but it's my soulmate, or it's my twin flame, or oh, it's my family, oh, it's my best friend, oh, it's this, it's my mother, it's my father. Whatever it is, you're keeping yourself a victim of stuff. You're keeping yourself trapped within something. Some of you, it's like, oh, it's my husband and my kids. Whatever it is that you feel entrapped within, you've got to ask for help in releasing that at this time. And again, make the decisions to do it in the best way, but it's going to help you to feel more beautiful. It's going to help you to end a cycle that has been toxic and karmic in your life and could come out on the other side out of this energy of self-sabotage. A lot of us have been sabotaging ourselves from the rising into the alignment with where we're truly meant to be, with who we're truly meant to be, because we've been holding on to something that's not even there in some cases, or we're holding on to the ideas that we're wanting to hold on to instead of actually paying attention to the signs that we know we should be. And it's time to heal that. And when you heal that, you're going to become more beautiful. You're going to become more aligned. And you're going to let go of the ego or the pride that makes you say, okay, you know what, I got to stay here because it's this, or it's that. You keep telling yourself things that basically is your pride telling you that, instead of just admitting and taking that mask off and getting vulnerable so you can rise up into the true version of yourself. It's like people are just staying in that energy of the victim, or allowing their pride to keep them in the place of almost having faith in the wrong things. It's time to have faith in self. And when you do that, if you were dealing with somebody that was truly supposed to be there and be beside you, they're going to show up because you're now finally truly in yourself. You're in that vibration of who you are always supposed to be. You're not trying to change yourself. You're not chasing after something. You're just whole and complete on yourself. You're not walking around with a hole in your soul. You're not walking around feeling like something's missing. You're feeling beautiful and you're healing. And when you do that, you attract in what's truly supposed to be there with you. So for some of you, you could attract back a person that, had left you when you weren't at your best, or you're going to attract in someone even better who's going to recognize the beauty in you. But it's time to stop sabotaging and learn the lesson. How teachable are you? How many times are we going to let these cycles repeat? How many times are we going to be a victim of something? Or how many times are we going to sabotage our own growth and our power due to what somebody else has done or hasn't done around us? It's time to really feel and release the stuff inside of you that's going to make you feel like that empress or that emperor, that person that's tapping into the creativity instead of selling out what they were told, or what they felt like they should do due to rejection. Because some of us at the end of the day were just rejected by somebody, and it's like, oh, that's not what happened. We were, ghosted by our twin flame or this or that. And I'm not saying that to trigger people, but it's the truth for some situations. Sometimes it's like, okay, you were rejected to protect you. And that may, again, not mean that you were rejected forever. But if you stay in that victim energy, or you stay in that place with your pride and your ego, and you're not learning the lessons and you're not letting that cycle close, you're selling out who you truly are. It's time to stop rejecting who you truly are, allow who you truly are to come to the surface. And if it's truly meant to be, the person will return. If it's not, something better will come in its place. But you're sabotaging something better from coming in by being sad. And in some cases, you're sabotaging the return of somebody by being sad, because again, what you ripple out is what you attract. If you're sad and miserable, if you're in that victim energy, you're not going to be attracting into a union with a twin flame, because you're not in union with yourself. You're not happy with yourself. So how could you possibly be happy with somebody else? And some of you have been tempted by things as well. Like you may get tempted to go back into a cycle with somebody that isn't good for you. Try not to give in to those temptations. And you're going to know what I mean with that. And some of you, it's addiction. Some of you, it's just the belief system. Some of you, it's friends and family. It's staying stuck inside of something, when it's time for you to just break out into the wild, into who you truly are meant to be, and find the true tribe and family members that are going to make you feel sexual, that are going to make you feel beautiful, that are going to be like home for you. So if you've been feeling separate from home, you've been feeling separate from the soul that truly supports you and gives you all the things that you've been wanting in regards to love, you got to feel home within yourself first, and you've got to alchemize what it is that you've been through up until this point, so you can bring this feeling in through yourself and then out around you. And I am seeing this energy here too. Say what you mean. So again, Try to go within and think about the things you're doing as you're being guided right now. Say what you mean, and don't let your pride or your ego block you. Don't just run off the mouth right now, because I feel like that somebody may have the tendency to do that at this point with the energies we're in. Be responsible about the things that you're speaking about, and just know that stuff will get easier as you let go of the things that you've been procrastinating to let go of, and that's going to propel you into this energy of finding what your soul purpose truly is in regards to love, in regards to career, in regards to success and power. So trust your dreams right now. I know a lot of us are going to be having an increase of dreams. They are giving you messages. They may be coming from your inner child. It could be connected to a cycle from the past 10 years of karma. But whatever is coming up, pay attention to it. Pay attention to the signs, and don't keep sabotaging yourself. Because once you do this, once you have the courage for that, you're going to have like that sexual powerful energy within your relationships. And that's going to ripple out through creativity into your career and in through the rest of your life, so that you can keep feeling good and make those required adjustments that are needing to be made right now. And it's a time to give rather than take. So I feel like this is a time to give to yourself right now, rather than like letting other people take from you, or even in regards to that too, because I know money stuff's going to be coming up right now. People are going to be getting triggered and feeling like, you could have things kind of just, especially this time of year anyways, sometimes our money goes out quickly. Just be in that place of giving, but make sure you're giving to yourself first and foremost. Don't be like hoarding or holding on to things, because that's just going to sabotage you in the grand scheme of it. If you start going to a place of fear of like, I don't have enough, or if I give this, I won't have enough, you will actually block yourself from the abundance and the blessings that the universe wants to give to you. The more that you give, the more that you receive. But make sure you're giving to yourself too, because sometimes we give a little bit too much, and balance is needed. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So be practical within this. I'm not saying go give everything you have within the bank, but give what you can give from a full plate. Make sure that you're full within before you start giving to others outside of you. And that's going to help you to attract more things into you. Those are the adjustments that you need to be making at this time. So I just want to see what this says on the other side. The nurturing of information to explain your destiny. Yes. So the more that you're nurturing this information that you're receiving, the more that you're explaining this stuff to yourself, like as that inner child, teaching yourself as that inner child, the more you're aligning with a healthier destiny for yourself. Feeling caused by communications about where you're going. All right. So again, think about where you're going and speak about where you're going. I feel like right now you need to be like speaking in a positive tone about yourself, about your future. As 2222 goes by, it's time to transform the things that you're feeling, the things that you're thinking. It's time to nurture that child within you. It's time to think about the reactions that you have in regards to the stuff that's been fluctuating in your life, resulting from the fluctuations of your career. I feel like it's not even just your career. It's all of the stuff we've been talking about, but it's like the same concept. Think about how you're reacting right now. Think about how things have fluctuated around you. Think about where you're headed and your destiny, but also start speaking it into existence, feeling it into existence, and getting creative with it, making those little adjustments that are required so that a new romantic cycle can begin. How perfect is that? So you guys are going to be either attracting a new cycle in that's justest, like there's going to be just and balance within it, or you're going to attract something new in with something even better, because you've let go of whatever you were clinging to and you decided to no longer be a victim of something that isn't really meant to be there, and you're going to step into alignment with who you were always meant to be, and that prosperity lies ahead. So things are going to be good for all of us. We just can't let ourselves go into a place of fear. Yeah, keep your dreams with a practical plan right now, but pay attention to the dreams. Get into that place of, like what I was saying, planning for your future. Don't sabotage where you're headed. Let that phoenix come out, and confidence is the key to your success. So if you've been dealing with a situation or a person that has really taken away from your confidence or your ability to feel, powerful and sexy and seen, it's time to break away from those things. And everybody does that in their own way. I'm not saying that you have to go never talk to somebody again, but don't give your power away to somebody that has been doing that to you. Let go of whatever has been making you feel like a different version of yourself that hasn't been making you feel sexual or beautiful or loved. Okay, so it's time to really bring in the essence of who you are so that you can attract in the essence of what's really truly meant to mirror that to you. And I do feel like, this, where we're headed right now, some of us are truly letting go of that hole in the soul so something can come fill it in. And some of us are going to be on a chapter of just self-love and fulfilling ourself and our inner child and, being patient. And that will ultimately lead us to that new beginning in love. And some of you have been doing a lot of this healing work. You've already acknowledged this stuff. And because of that, you'll be bringing back in or starting off with somebody new because you're no longer a victim of where you once were. You've already paid attention to these signs. You've had faith in where you were headed. You are no longer entrapped within the situations that were keeping you from where you wanted to be. And now you're going to be that phoenix rising where you can really be your true self. So you could be letting go of like a toxic karmic situation and coming into a good, whole, healed, connected place with somebody. And again, be mindful that this is for everybody. So this is going to impact men and women. So this could all be a message for the person you've been dealing with. But basically, these are the energies we're in. So pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're putting out right now. And just go within and meditate when you're trying to come up with the answers, and look at the different ways of looking at the signs you're receiving. Don't just let your ego kind of filter it into what you want it to see. Be mindful about that stuff and become that Queen of Wands, that person that's sexy and passionate, that takes everything that was difficult, turns it into fire to go after the decisions in love and the decisions in life that are going to bring you the success that you've been wanting. Okay? Yeah, so it's time for you to stop juggling. It's time for you to stop, waiting for the future. It's time for you to make the decision about your future and to go after and fight for what it is that you're wanting for your future. And sometimes that means the final judgment on something that has been blocking you or holding you back from your true calling or your true essence of who you are supposed to be or who you're supposed to be with and where you're going on this path. All right, guys. So hopefully this assists you. I do plan to do... look at that. The bottom of it was the devil. So you're making final judgment calls on the karma. You're letting go of whatever has been blocking you from your fulfillment. You're going to be that phoenix rising. But I will be doing a pick a pile on what you all need to know. I'm going to do another one on the past life that could be blocking you from love. And I can't remember all the names that I did. I'm probably going to end up doing them all. I just wanted to see what you guys are doing because I know I have a shift in the collective right now. I know I've got some of you that are done with a certain thing and you've already detached and let go and you're ready for new love. And then I've got some of you that are still uncertain about should I be waiting for somebody? Are they the one? Is this somebody that I should be dealing with? And you're trying to make those decisions that you got to be careful with. And then some of you are really dealing with a true person that is, going to support you and show up for you in all ways, but right now just hasn't been. But in order for that to happen, you've got to do some healing on yourself and, make those adjustments that are required. So I've got such a split in the conscious, people that are coming to the channel. I've got people that just came to the journey, people that are, ending their journey and going into something new. And I've also got myself to deal with, which I've been being called for a while to start doing other stuff other than just the readings. When I started my channels, I didn't do the readings at all. But I've been trying to get back into teaching more because that's what I do. So I'm going to be trying to balance those two things out. So you will continue to see some pick-a-piles and some love readings, but there's also going to be stuff on the other channel that I want to focus on that actually helps people with their awakening and with their healing and with their manifesting and their attracting and understanding stuff. Because sometimes there's parts of the spiritual journey that people don't even talk about, like depression and anxiety, and how sometimes you could have a false, label placed on you. Somebody could have said, oh, you're bipolar, but when in reality you're an empath or a starseed, and so you process energies and emotions a lot differently than the traditional humans running around here. So I have plans to bring a lot of that stuff out. So I know it will impact some of the time that I have for the channel, but I still will be here and I will still be doing the readings and I will still offer some private stuff for all of you guys. And I have some new things that are going to come out through Vimeo for people if you're wanting to go deeper into healing processes that I have, and it will make it more affordable for everybody and able for people to do it without having to wait to book with me privately. All right, so I hope that you guys have a beautiful 12/12. I'll be back tomorrow with the pick-a-pile on what you need to know. Hopefully this resonated and assisted some of you. In Renee, namaste.